Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the update stream. This is Bugs here. I'm joined today by Miss D and by Cobalt. Say hi, guys.
Hey everyone.
And actually, Cobalt can't say hi because he's a little muted. Pardon if the stream's a little wonky today. Artemis had to back out and can't stream. She normally hosts the stream for us, and Cobalt's filling in last minute for us here. So thank you, Cobalt, for filling in. But if some of the settings are a little weird or something's a little janky, please forgive us this week. And also, you all know it wouldn't be an update stream without a little breakdown or wonkiness here or there. But anyway, let's get into it. As always, we are going to go through what you can expect to come in the update today. The update is, of course, scheduled for release 1 hour from now, and it will not only release new things into the game, but it will force a map wipe across the board. So, no forced blueprint wipe coming with this update. However, many community servers do choose to wipe blueprints on the force map wipe at the beginning of each month. And Rustafied is in that category. So all Rustafied servers are going to have a full map and BP wipe with this update. The exception, of course, being the medium threes. US and EU medium three do not have a blueprint wipe because they only wipe when blueprints are forced. But as always, we're going to go through what is coming in this update, what you can expect. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to do at Miss D _ that's me in chat. We'll get to as many questions as we have the opportunity to. And with that, let's get into it. So, first and foremost, what is coming in the update today? Well, we do have double saddles coming in. And this is what you would expect. Double saddles, it just allows two players to ride on one horse. And they function the same as single saddles pretty much across the board. They have the 4 equipment slots. You can put saddlebags in and other stuff on the horse using that. 2 people can just get on the horse, and the horse still rides the same speed, has the same stamina from what we can see. And there might be a slight downgrade in stats a little bit, but it doesn't really seem noticeable if there is. But really, it's just 2 people hop on the horse, and then you can ride around the plains of Rust with your best bud on horseback like never before. Now, once again, nothing really shifted with this. Horse stamina speed appears to be minimally impacted, if at all. And there's the same amount of equipment slots. Now, how do you get these double saddles? Well, originally on staging branch, you could not only purchase them, but you could craft them. But it looks like the crafting has been removed as of yesterday when I tested this on staging, and it's no longer able to be researched or crafted at the moment. It can only be purchased at the stables, the large barn or ranch, and the purchase price is 90 scrap. So if you recall, you could purchase a single, and you still can purchase a single saddle at the stables as well, and those are 75 scrap. But 90 scrap, just a little bit more scrap, and you will get a trusty new double saddle. Once again, not craftable, so no crafting costs or anything like that. It looks like the only place you're going to pick these bad boys up is either at the ranches and large barns, or if you're entrepreneurial and you want to go pick up a bunch of saddles, put in a vending machine, you might be able to even charge a markup somewhere else on the map just for ease, just for convenience. But anyway, that's the double saddles. We also have new map markers coming in. These are greatly improved map markers. This is referring, of course, to the in-game map. And on that in-game map now, when you press G and hold it, you can right-click and add multiple markers. And now with that, the multiple markers are actually editable in a way you haven't been able to edit before. Specifically, you can add text. It's not a lot of text. There's, I think, like a 10-character limit to the text you can add. So you're not going to be writing a whole book report or anything on the label itself, but you can add text. You can add a marker like an icon to label it. And you can also select a color. And you can add up to 5 of these new map markers on the map at a time. And it can just be used to label whatever the heck you want, And with that, the other feature of this is that it is sort of shareable between your team. Normal team member isn't going to have their map markers visible to the other team members, but the team leader, the person who creates the team and then invites everyone, all their map markers are visible to the team as a whole. So if you are a team leader, you can help coordinate that team utilizing these new map markers. And once again, just a max of 5 on the map at a time. If you want to add more, you got to delete one and then add another one, if that makes sense. Now, also another feature we've got coming in the update today, pings have been added. And this is a pinging system. This has gotten mixed reviews, as some features sometimes do. It's gotten mixed reviews from the community at large. Some complaints about, oh my God, this is going to be like COD and stuff like that. But I do hope to alleviate some of those concerns, because I think a lot of those people, when they heard pinging system, they're picturing where you can just look anywhere with a gun out or with anything out and just like center click your mouse button and that'll create a ping. But that's not, in fact, how this ping system works. There's a little bit more of a barrier to entry when it comes to this ping system. You, in fact, need to use binoculars or drones. One or the other is, it appears, the only way to actually add a ping on the map marker at the moment. Probably the biggest use case is going to be binoculars. And with binoculars, you got to be looking down the binoculars. And then it's kind of wonky. The default keybind for this, I believe, is mouse 4. That's like the side, your thumb mouse buttons, and it's the thumb mouse button closest to you. And by default, so you have to be looking down the binoculars, and then you got to hold mouse 4. And when you hold mouse 4, it brings up that radial menu with the 6 options to choose. And then with that, you've got to, while holding the mouse 4 button, hover over the radio option you want and then left click. So it's like a little wonky. And then when you do that, though, it does create a ping that you and your team can see. This isn't like the map markers where a team leader is the only one who can do it. It looks like any team member is able to see any other team member's ping. And you can select from any of the 6 radial options. So there's like a gun, there's a like node, there's a target, there's a normal marker, there's a $sign, to indicate a valuable thing or an enemy. But the thing about this is, once you do place a ping and you go through the trouble to get your binoculars out, look through there and hold mouse 4 and then select on the radio button and then left click to get the ping out, the ping lasts for 10 seconds and then it's gone. Like literally 10 seconds that your team can see it and then it's gone. It almost takes more than 10 seconds to get the fucking ping there in the first place. So for everyone complaining like, oh my God, this is like COD, people can just ping anywhere on the fly and it's going to make it so easy for teams and ruin immersion. I don't really think so. I'm not sure people are going to use this thing, because in its current state, it's a pain in the butt to get a ping out. And then it only lasts 10 seconds anyway. So I wouldn't really worry about it. The other thing, of course, you can use is not just with binoculars. If you do have a drone flying overhead, and this is a better use case for, if you got hostiles around your base and you want to alert the team where they're at. This is, I guess, a good use case for that. And it's the same functionality. You just hold the mouse 4 button while you're in the drone, select the radial option, and then it drops a ping for, it looks like 10 seconds. Now you also can change the button to, and I'm saying mouse 4, it might be mouse 5. I always get those confused. By default, it's the thumb mouse button closest to you, if that makes sense. But it doesn't matter, because you also can change it in the controls options. In the escape menu, they added a option there for ping. And so you can set it to whatever key, whatever mouse button you really want once you get in the game, if you are planning on using this new functionality. Now, also, of course, we do have floating containers are making their way in fully to the game here. This was a weird one, because they're technically these floating black boxes. They technically, and you can see on Rustafied.com, all this stuff is on Rustafied.com, by the way. I do an article every week, every Thursday, summarizing everything going on in development in text and imagery. And so Rustafied.com, the article today, is summarizing all the stuff coming in this update. So I do encourage you to check it out if you want to see some of this stuff. But we've got these floating containers, a black floating container, and these appear when a either submarine or a boat has been destroyed. Now, with the submarine, this will appear immediately, but it only appears if there's loot in the sub. If there's no loot, then this doesn't appear. But this is basically a floating box to allow people to retrieve the loot from a destroyed watercraft, so a submarine or a boat. So when a sub has loot in it and it's destroyed, this box appears immediately. When you're dealing with a boat like the rowboat or the rib, it actually the destroyed boat goes into like a destroyed state for about 5 minutes, where you see a model of the boat, but you can't interact with it except to pull the loot out of it. And that destroyed boat model will stay there for about 5 minutes until it turns into this black floating container. And then so if you see one of these black floating containers floating around, that is what it is. And it is a destroyed water vehicle. And now, once again, these were sort of in the game in certain instances, but they weren't fully flushed out. And now this month, it looks like the floating containers are really fully flushed out. The container has like as much slots as a large wood storage, it looks like, but you can't put stuff in there. You can only take stuff out. And once you take stuff out, the slots become unavailable and you can't put stuff in there. So this isn't an option for like on the fly storing stuff floating out in the ocean somewhere. As far as like trying to put stuff in, you can't do it. You can only grab stuff out of there, and the stuff is just whatever was in the watercraft prior to being destroyed. Hope that makes sense. Now, also, we have Easter is here. The Easter event has arrived. And if you've been playing Rust for a number of years, then you might have experienced an Easter event before, because I believe this is the fourth or fifth, maybe even more Easter events that we've had in Rust. And like the other seasonal events in Rust, it's going to run for probably 2 weeks. And it features some in-game activities and some extra loot opportunities and things like that. So Easter, with this update, will go live. What you're mainly going to see with that is you're going to see once every in-game day an egg hunt go live. And if we want to show one here, I think the command is spawn egg hunt. And the egg hunt just gives like a 10 or 15 second countdown before it starts. It says Easter egg hunt on your screen with some Easter eggs. And then what happens once that starts is some eggs and stuff will appear around every in-game character, every player in-game at the moment. And for a duration of 3 minutes, you go around and try to just grab as many eggs as you can. And there's a scoreboard, a leaderboard for the people who grab the most eggs. And after that 3 minutes is up, then the top 3 players will receive special eggs as prizes. So first place is 3 silver eggs, second place is 1 silver egg, and third place is 1 bronze egg. Now, if you've ever been around for like the Rust Xmas event or the Halloween event, some of this will look a little familiar to you, but just with a Eastery twist. And so with Easter, we've got these collectible eggs. And this is kind of akin to the Xmas event with the small, medium, and large presents. Kind of same dynamic here. So the bronze egg is the least valuable one. And you can open it up and get sample loot such as an egg basket, bunny ears, a couple hundred stone or a couple hundred wood, maybe 20 to 50 metal frags, 3 or 4 chocolate bars, or a compound bow and 10 arrows. Or you can collect 10 bronze eggs and upgrade them to a silver egg. And then with a silver egg, if you open it, you of course get some better loot. You get a bunny onesie, you can get 2,500 stone, a chainsaw and some fuel, a jackhammer, a revolver, a double barrel, and some buckshot, or even a pump shotgun and some buckshot ammo. Now, of course, if you don't want to open your silver egg and you grab 10 of those silver eggs, you can upgrade to a gold egg. And as you would expect, the gold egg has the best loot. You can get 5 incendiary rockets and 3 high velocity rockets. You can get an MP5 and some ammo. You can get an LR300. You can get an M39 and some ammo, a multiple grenade launcher, or even an M249 and some ammo. So that is clearly the best option if you can get your hands on a gold egg. But once again, that takes 10 silver eggs. And overall, as you go around collecting the eggs in the egg hunt, the base level egg actually is not the bronze egg, it's actually painted eggs. And you can get enough painted eggs, I believe, to upgrade to bronze, and then it goes up. So a gold egg is actually going to equate to 1,000 painted eggs, basically, is what it comes to. But with each level you have, you get increasingly improved loot. Now, some of that loot, you might be like, what's an egg basket? What's bunny ears? What's a bunny onesie? Well, there are these Easter specific items, and some of them actually help you uh, get better at the egg hunt itself. Specifically, the egg basket is really your go to thing when it comes to winning the egg hunt. Because by default, if you don't have an egg basket out, it takes a second or two to pick up each egg on the ground during the egg hunt. But with the egg basket, when equipped, you can instantly collect the eggs with left click, and that eliminates the need to wait a couple seconds so you can pick up more eggs uh, than a person without a basket. Now, also, there are some items that give you egg vision. This is kind of like candy vision for the, Halloween event, but it just allows you to see the eggs from a greater distance out. And some of the items with egg vision improvements are bunny ears, bunny onesie, the nest hat, and the egg suit seem to grant enhanced ability called egg vision. And so you'll be able to see the eggs farther out. So if you rock one of those things with increased egg vision and you got yourself an egg basket out, you are on track to be one of the top bunnies, getting the most eggs and earning those collectible eggs. Once again, the first place gets 3 silver eggs, second place gets 1 silver egg, and third place gets 1 bronze egg. Now, also, there's other special Easter items we do expect to come in. The item store will be updated, and we expect some special Easter skins. Also, the egg suit looks like it's going to make a comeback this year, likely for purchase on the item store. And the egg suit is a cool thing because it looks like an egg, and you can actually paint it. So that's pretty cool, and was a highly sought after item for a bit there. I think a couple of people spent way too much of their parents' money on maybe purchasing some of those. But now they'll be available on the item store, I believe, for probably just a couple bucks. Now, also, the other thing coming with this update is a slew of fixes and improvements. These are mostly in the miscellaneous category. There's some quality of life, there's just some flat out bug fixes and things like that. A summary of a couple of them: you can now place deployables in door frames with doors much easier. So you can actually, you're not going to have building blocked if you want to place like say a research bench for some reason in front of a door, but more likely you're going to be using it for boxes and things like that. But easier placement rules when it comes to things in door frames with doors. Also, streamer mode has been updated to account for the RF transmitter, so it's no longer going to show in the hotbar the actual RF frequency that it's set to. So that's good for streamers if they're using especially that remote C4. Also, Team UI and name tags will use Steam nicknames instead of Steam names. If you are friends with the player and you've set a Steam nickname for them, the Team UI, so the thing above, not only the thing on the bottom left that shows your team members, but also the name tag above their head, will just show the Steam nickname instead of their actual Steam name. And that can be reverted if you want to change it back. There's a convar called use_steam_nicknames, and you can just set that to 0 and it'll set back to the old behavior. Also, there is an alt look key while right clicking or hover looting from a loot container to wear the clothing items immediately. So this is a small quality of life thing. But if you're hover looting in a container and you've got you're hover looting over an article of clothing, and an article of clothing specifically that you have an open slot in your clothing inventory for, if you're hover looting and you hold alt click as well, or alt look as well, I mean, then it'll just equip that item on your clothing belt. So nice little quality of life thing as you play with it and get used to it. It could be good for, instead of having to drag everything specifically onto your clothing to equip it. Also, drones can be repaired in repair benches. They fixed the mace skinned as baseball bat displaying an incorrect price at research table. A bunch of other things. Fixed excavator puzzle resetting. When it was resetting, it was killing sleepers inside bases if it was built too close to the excavator. So that was a weird thing. A couple other miscellaneous things with industrial crafting. They disabled the daisy chaining restrictions, and they fixed some stuff with tactical gloves and all diving gear not appearing in industrial filter surge box. Additional checks to make sure SAM sites have a floor below them, a whole bunch of stuff, basically, just miscellaneous fixes and improvements. If you want to see the full detailed list, once again, do check out rustified.com and just scroll down past the Easter stuff on today's article, and you'll see a long list of improvements and fixes. Also, some miscellaneous other stuff. Staging server browser will now show change set when server doesn't match the client version. This is not going to impact many players, but is a okay thing if you test a lot and things like that. And also there's a new safe mode and a convar for apply safe mode config. And if you do that, that overwrites the player's client.config with a known safe version of the client config. So if you ever find yourself in an instance where you were playing with your config and you really screwed things up, well, you can just run that command apply safe mode config and it'll reset your stuff back to a workable state. Now, also on the Rustafied front, a couple things going on. One, on our EU and US ZenLab servers, I'm very happy to announce we've got Happus making a comeback. Now, as you may recall, Happus was the official support for the Happus map, which of course is the static map, which was originally built to kind of be a rehash of the legacy map and everything. And it's had a tumultuous history throughout the years. But just the other month, FacePunch finally said, you know what, we're no longer going to officially support it. And thankfully, the community and specifically Cyfex stepped up and decided to take Happus under their wing and really flush out a beautiful community-built version of Happus that not only is a great, recreation of that OG Happus map, but also includes a lot of improvements to gameplay and fixes to things that weren't even fixed in the official FacePunch version of the Happus map. So we're trying it out for a wipe on, once again, US and EU ZenLab servers after the forced wipe goes up. The population by default is going to be 200 max pop for each one of those servers. It's going to be a 1 week wipe. We're running Happus. And I will increase the population as demand, dictates. And we're going to see. We're going to play this one by ear. We might work Happus. If it's well received, we might work it into the regular ZenLabs rotation. Going to be playing with that and just playing it by ear. Also, we did make a number of changes to the maps we use by default on pretty much all Rustified servers. We did this past month switch to using custom map seeds. It's still procedural generation, but these custom seeds give us a little more ability to control what spawns where, get rid of certain things that are useless spawning. It allows us also to combine bandit and outpost. And these custom maps really have it has you download the map when you join the server, and also the server itself downloads the map instead of generating the map via proc generation each time. That has servers start faster and really run more efficiently and run better. So we're seeing improvements to player and server performance, but also the maps themselves are more optimized for gameplay. And so we down the size from 4.25 or 4.5K due to popular demand. They're now 4K across the board on the regular servers. That's the mains, mediums, trios, longs, etc. And we really worked hard to pick map seeds that have a good balance of the different biomes, have a good layout of the different monuments, and that are really optimized for performance. So we do hope you enjoy those maps. For this change, we did have map voting off for the time being, but map voting is expected to come back in our Discord for next week. So definitely head over to our Discord, rustified.com/Discord, and check out. You can see a preview of the maps that are coming on today's Force Wipe in the server information page. And next week, you'll be able to vote on maps some more. And we've just been doing a ton of improvements to Discord. There's more on the way, but definitely check out our Discord. You can get support in there. You can report players in there with the /report feature. You can also report players in all of our servers with that same /report feature as well. And once again, you can see the maps, and next week you'll be able to vote on the maps and all that good stuff as well. So that is what's going on the Rustified front. And let's get back to it. Shadow, we got any questions from the audience here? Just a couple?
Yeah. Let me see here. Someone was just asking about the overlay for wipe. Are you the status bar?
Oh, yeah, that's not here this week. Sorry, guys. We at the last minute. Artemis normally hosts these streams, and she couldn't host this week. And she even told me, but I forgot like an asshole until like half hour before the stream. So thank God Cobalt came in and in a pinch really came in and decided to host the stream for us at the very last minute. Thank you, Cobalt. But with that, we don't have the top status bar on the top left. Don't worry, I will show, or I will not show, but tell you repeatedly when that update is live. Currently, no update is live. If you're new to this, basically how this works is in about, let's say 20 minutes, the server update will probably go live. And then about 15 minutes after that, the client update and the dev blog come out. And that's when we really say the update is live. But when that server update comes out, that's when we start taking our servers down, updating them, and wiping them and getting them good to go. But I will make sure to communicate with my words because we don't have that overlay today exactly when that update is out.
Who's Shadow? That's
Oh, good
because you
question.
said Shadow before.
I said Shadow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Shadow helped us and has been part of the stream for years and years. But just the other month, she transitioned her name to Miss D. That's me. So Shadow's still here. It's Miss D. And my brain just can't make up and remember that she's Miss D now. So I keep uh, shadowing her.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
And yes, also I saw a few people still asking why I was changing. It's just easier to not have two accounts, basically. So
Yeah. And one of these days it's going to be easier for us, but might take a couple months.
yeah. And no, it's not Misty, it's Miss D.
Yeah,
Uh
not misty like a weather pattern. It's
yeah.
Miss D like Mrs. The letter D. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Big D. Okay, back to questions. Is it a force wipe today?
Yes, it is a force wipe today. As always, the first Thursday of every month is a force wipe, and that's when we expect to see at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. BST. Our time zones have shifted, daylight savings, good stuff. But that is the time period, first Thursday every month, where we expect the update to go live. And when that update goes live on the first Thursday of every month, that is when there's a forced map wipe across the board. There's not a forced blueprint wipe this month. However, a lot of servers, including most Rustified servers, do choose to wipe blueprints as well when this update hits. The exception over at Rustified with blueprint wipes is the medium 3 servers. US and EU medium 3 do not wipe blueprints unless forced, but every other server will not only have a map wipe, but also a blueprint wipe when the update comes out. Oh, also, I meant to mention we're playing with some higher populations on our long servers. So EU and US long 3 will have a base population of 250 for the whole month. This is to test performance across the month. We have gotten a lot of requests for increasing our populations, but as always, we prioritize performance and gameplay over just jamming as many people in as we can on wipe day. So we're going to play with this, and over this month, we're going to see what the state of performance is over a longer wipe period. And we may, over time, increase the population of some of our other servers as well. But we really want to make sure that it still provides an optimal performance and gameplay experience for our players because that's priority over max pop.
What is the best and fastest way to update Steam?
Uh, Generally, just restart Steam. For a Steam update, you just restart Steam and it updates. If you're talking about a Rust update and you haven't seen it come up, but you're hearing the updates out, but you just haven't seen an update queued on your Steam library, there's two methods. One, you can just restart Steam. But what I like to do actually is right click in the Steam library, right click Rust, go to properties, go to local files tab, and start verifying the integrity. You can cancel that immediately, but based on my observations, step one of verifying integrity is to ping the Steam servers for an update. And so I always consistently start verifying integrity, and then the update gets queued up immediately. You can cancel the verify process because that takes a little while, and then you can just start updating from there.
1 second. Is the Easter coming in this week?
Yeah, Easter is coming in this week with the update today. It's likely going to run, I think, for 2 weeks. And then probably 2 Thursdays from now, there'll be a small mandatory client and server update that will just remove the Easter content. But yeah, it looks like it's going live today and going to be live for a week or two.
Is there a distance cap on pinging? If you see an airdrop further away and you ping it, will the distance be perfect?
Oh, good question. I don't know. Maybe Cobalt, you can try to play with pinging some farther distance things out. But also keep in mind the pings only show up for 10 seconds. So if you ping something like across the map for your team, by the time they're able to get anywhere near to see specifically where it is, the ping's going to be long gone anyway. So
Can you only ping with binocs and drone?
that does appear to be the case at the moment, unless there's one other thing that snuck in there that you're able to ping with and we missed it. But based on the commits and based on our testing, it looks like you can just ping with the binoculars and drone at the moment. And once again, to ping, it's not just like a center mouse click. And I think where people were getting really upset about the pinging idea was they thought that anyone running around with at any time with like a gun out or a rock or a hatchet can just center mouse click anywhere and show a ping for a long period of time to all their team. But that's not how this works. You need the binocs or you need the drone. And then when you do, you hold the like mouse 5, bring up the radial menu, left click on the radial option you want, and then the ping appears for 10 seconds for your team. Oh, you can also ping with the PTZ camera. Cobalt is letting me know too. I'll have to update that in my article today. But yeah, you can ping with the PTZ camera, the drone, and the binoculars. Oh, and the cameras can ping. Yeah.
Do the boats and subs drop a black box if it decays or only if it's destroyed by a player?
I believe if it decays as well, if there's loot in it, right? So the black boxes are really it only makes sense for them to appear if there's some loot to be recovered. And this doesn't include any fuel that might be in the watercraft. It's just the loot in the storage. So, but if for some reason there was a sub or a boat that had loot in it and it did decay, then yeah, the black box should float up and show.
Is there any chat command for pinging or only UI only?
It looks like UI only.
Can you ping players through a drone?
I mean, you could point at a player in a drone, I guess, and ping them, but the ping isn't going to follow the player. The ping's just going to be wherever the player was at that point for 10 seconds, and then the ping disappears.
Is there any news to cheaters or hacking system?
Yeah, the hacker situation is still not super, but over here at Rustafied, we have been doing a ton over the past couple of months to combat it the best we can. First and foremost, at the beginning of the year, I personally stopped working on any other projects and dedicated my life full time to moderating these servers because it was so insane. And I've been putting in long weeks with my team just getting rid of hackers the best we can. But also, we have brought on about 10 new moderators that are rocking and rolling and taking care of reports. And we've got coverage like never before. And we have this third-party anti-cheat system that we're working with that I'm really happy to say in the past couple of weeks, especially, we've ramped up. It's really purring. It's detecting a lot of these hackers before they even have a chance to make a mess in the servers and just getting rid of them and their teams. And we're working still every day, every week on ramping that up, getting that system better and better at detecting the people such that we can get rid of the hackers prior to them making a mess in the servers. But let us not forget, this is still a big friggin' issue. Last year, FacePunch, their own numbers said that 2 million individuals went through official servers and they banned over 800,000 accounts last year alone for hacking. So yeah, there's a lot of hackers out there, but we are doing our best and we've really ramped up what we're doing here in-house to be able to respond to reports faster than ever before. We've got a whole new reporting backend system being worked on now as well. We've got a player stat system as well that's going to be coming out in a couple months, which isn't so much around the hackers, but actually we do have plans for how that's going to help us catch hackers better. But also that's going to include like leaderboards and you being able to look up your own stats and your accuracy and headshots and kills and all that stuff in the servers as well. So it's all to say we're really working constantly on improving the quality of our servers and setting up all the systems and team that we can to remove hackers as quickly as possible. And what you can do as a player is please just use the /report in game. You just in chat go /report or in our Discord and use /report as well. And that's our internal reporting system, and that helps us get rid of hackers as soon as possible. And also feel free to F7 as well, because we can see that, but that goes directly to the developers. And hopefully AEC and FacePunch will, continue to get better at banning these hackers quicker. But in the meantime, we're doing everything we can.
Yep, hold on. Is there any change to industrial stuff?
Yeah, there were a couple fixes to industrial things. Nothing real like crazy, but they fixed conveyors set to end mode incorrectly starting a transfer if there were multiple stacks of the same filtered item in an input container. They disabled the daisy chaining restrictions. Daisy chained containers will now always receive their appropriate split, regardless of the state of the container before them in the chain. They fixed tactical gloves and diving gear not appearing in industrial filter search box, and they also made it so the industrial conveyor will now attempt to fill any existing stacks in an output container before making a new stack. So those were a couple of the industrial changes.
If you mouse 4/mouse 5 for a ping, but don't select one, does it use a default or does nothing happen?
No, it just goes away. And that was kind of the weird thing when I was just trying to get my hands around the pinging system. I didn't even realize you had to hold the mouse 4 or mouse 5 button to keep the radial menu there. I thought you would just have to like click it and it would do a ping. But no, you have to hold the mouse 4 or mouse 5 button, whatever it is on your mouse. Once again, it's by default, I think it's the thumb button closest to you, but that might have changed on staging. Ooh, server update. Look at that. Server updates live. Let me tweet about it. That's good. That's even like a little early here. One sec.
Cobalt, are you able to look at the map so people can see how it looks with the pings?
And yeah, with that ping, if you ping a person, was the ping moving with the person? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, so the ping doesn't move. It just wherever you ping, it stays there. Even if you were to ping a person, it doesn't move with the person. And once again, you can only ping with Binox drones or the PTZ camera, and then with that, the ping only lasts 10 seconds. Your team can see the ping, but it's literally only like a 10-second thing.
I thought you could craft a double saddle from tier 2. Is that not the case?
Yeah, you could originally on staging, and it was like road signs and something else that didn't really make sense. But sewing kits. Well, I guess that makes sense. Road signs and sewing kits. You'd think it would be like leather and sewing kits, but no. When I was checking yesterday, and let's check again now on staging just to make sure it's not showing up. If you do Q and try to look for double saddle, but based on my testing yesterday on staging, it looks like all the crafting had been removed for the double saddle, and now it's just available for purchase. You can't research it, you can't craft it, but you can purchase it at the stables, aka Large Barn or Ranch, for 90 scrap.
When do we see an update that helps solo players?
I don't know. If you think about it, it's hard to update anything that helps solo players that doesn't help groups, by default, the more people you have, the better off you're generally going to be to an extent. So not sure. Can't really think of any solo buffs incoming.
Are you still able to see stashes through drone cameras from the Rust Plus app?
I think they were changing some of the things with the Rust Plus app and the drone stuff, but frankly, I'm not really aware of the specifics of that. I do know the devs were aware of some stuff going on, some unintended original use of the Rust Plus app. and the drones that I believe they are accounting for with the update. But if anything, I think they might be keeping that a little under wraps, and I'm not sure of the specifics. And once
Is
again,
hap
sorry,
Oh,
because we don't have the overlay, I just want to
yeah.
remind everyone every other minute. Server update is out. Client update is pending. Devlog is pending, but it looks like this whole update is coming out on time, and we should have the servers wiped and online, hopefully, by turn of the hour in 20 minutes.
Didn't Rustafied change to new host recently?
Yeah, we changed our whole infrastructure over to a new host. We had to do 2 hosting shifts over the past 2 years because the fact of the matter is we were just getting hit by DDoS and it was causing lag. And so if you played on our servers like a year or two ago and you were getting hit with lag all the time, yeah, we were just getting DDoS like crazy and our host couldn't cover it. So we finally did, and with the whole pandemic thing and the chip shortage, it was a pain and took a lot longer than we wanted to switch to a new host. But we are on a new host that's directly on like the backbone of the internet. The DDoS protection is like really on point, and so the people who wanted to take us down and DDoS us like crazy can't really do it anymore without like taking a lot of the internet down. And knock on wood, it's not to say that we don't still have the occasional hiccups and issues with hosting, because that just happens. But overall, we are in such a better place with hosting. We've got better machinery, we got better hardware, we're on better networks, and we're with a better host. So everything is running a lot better than before. Also, another cool thing that we did with this hosting shift is we did set up nice what are they called? CNAME records. So if you want to connect to like US main, you just do connect usmain.rustified.com instead of having to, it's like the DNS records, instead of having to type in the IP address. So on all of our servers, there's like more easy connect info now too. That's another like little quality of life thing we did. So it's just like you connect US medium 3, the number 3 dot rustified.com, for instance, and that will connect to our US medium 3 server.
Did you say that Happy's was coming out today?
Oh yeah, baby, we got Happus coming out today. This is the community built Happus. Shout out to Cyfex and the team over at Community Happus. Definitely go check out their Discord. It's just Happus Rust, and they did a great job working their butts off this month to get the community version of Happus ready. This is Shadowfrax did a great summary video of it, but basically it's a classic version of Happus, but with a bunch of improvements. Down in the dome region, there's a lot more good stuff going on. The oil rigs are fixed, and like a whole bunch of other stuff has been improved. So Happus should be up and running better than ever before. We're running Happus on our US and EU ZenLab servers right after the wipe. Max pop by default is going to be 200 on each server, but we will up as demand dictates. But we're really excited to run Happus for this next week. We're going to play it by ear, see how it goes. And if it goes well, we might work Happus into the regular rotation for Zen Labs. But yeah, really stoked about Happus. And once again, shout out and great work, Cyfax and the whole team over at Happus Rust. And do check out their Discord because they got some great stuff going on there, especially if you're a fan of Happus.
Let's do a quick recap, and then if we have time, we can do a small questions after.
Cool. We'll do a quick recap here. So the server update is out. We're waiting on the client update to hit before we say that the update is officially live. And with that, we'll do a quick recap here. And we do expect the update to be live within the turn of the hour here, so I might get interrupted. But in the meantime, this is a forced map wipe, no forced blueprint wipe, although a lot of servers do choose to wipe blueprints when the update hits, including most of Rustified servers except for medium 3s. With the update, we got double saddles coming in. 2 people can ride 1 horse now. You buy the saddles for 90 scrap at stables. They can't be researched or crafted, but you can buy them and then ride with 2 people on 1 horse. And nothing else has really shifted. It looks like stamina and speed are minimally impacted, if anything. We've also got new improved map markers. You can now add up to 5 map markers on your in-game map. Right click to select, and then you can add a name label. It's like 10 characters max. You can add a marker, which is like an icon, and you can add a color. Select between 6 different unique, beautiful colors, and then boom, you've got these new improved map markers on your map. Now, you can also, if you're the team leader, your map markers are by default shared with the rest of the team. Although the teammates to teammates, those map markers aren't shared. It's just the team leaders' map markers are shared amongst everyone. Also, we got the new ping system coming in. This is the ability for players to ping a point of interest for 10 seconds. Now, you can only ping things if you got binoculars out, drones, or on the PTZ camera. I got to update the article to include that PTZ. Sorry, we missed that in the initial, but one of those three items out, and mainly you probably binoculars. You'll look through the binoculars, zoom in, then you got to like hold mouse 4 or mouse 5, your thumb mouse button, and then you got to select from a radial button, a radial menu, what kind of ping you want, and then left click on that on the radio button, and then a ping will show up. That ping shows up to the rest of your teammates wherever you point it, and it shows up for only like 10 seconds actually. So for anyone worried, this got a lot of flack on people saying, oh, it's like COD and you can just ping on the fly, and that doesn't, well, it's kind of a pain in the butt to ping, and then the pings only show up for 10 seconds. So if you were kind of upset about the ping system, I think you can relax a bit. It's not going to be an issue. Also, we got floating containers. This is for when a watercraft, like a boat or a submarine, is destroyed and has loot in it. Then there's this black floating container that will show up across the water. With submarines that have loot in them, the black box appears immediately and floats up immediately. With a rib or a rowboat, it takes 5 minutes for it to turn into the black box. And before that, the rib or the rowboat is just in this like broken state, but it's still the model of the boat, and you can still loot it. But after 5 minutes, it just turns into this floating black box. Also, Easter is here. So the in-game Easter event is going live today and will probably be live for about 2 weeks in-game. With it, you get every in-game day Easter egg hunts. You go around, gather these painted eggs, and then the painted eggs can be upgraded to bronze, silver, or gold. If you win the egg hunt, then first place is 3 silver eggs, second place is 1 silver egg, third place is 1 bronze egg. And with the collectible eggs, go to rustafied.com. You can scroll down when you see the 3 eggs in the middle of your screen. Under that, you can see the sample loot for each one. Bronze is the least level loot, of course, and then you can have 10 eggs upgrade to silver. 10 silvers you can upgrade to a gold egg. With a gold egg, you can open and get stuff like an MP5 and some ammo, LR300 assault rifle, M39 rifle, multiple grenade launcher, or even an M249 and some ammo. And the total cost of a gold egg is 1,000 painted eggs. So you're going to have to pick up a bunch of those eggs in the egg hunt to get up to that level. But I'm sure groups can do it. Also, there's egg hunt helpers. So an egg basket, when equipped, will help you collect the eggs instantly instead of having to wait a couple seconds for each egg pickup. And then you can get things that improve your egg vision. So bunny ears, the bunny onesie, the nest hat, the egg suit as well, all have egg vision. And with that, we also have special Easter items, which will probably be on the item store. Let's see, is the item store updated yet? All limited. Yeah, we got some. Yeah, we got some Easter stuff. We got a carrotioka, a carrot bow, a Easter chick door, and the good old egg suit is back on sale for $9.99 if you're in the good old US of A. So yeah, check out the item store because there are special Easter items available there as well. And then also, there's a ton of improvements and fixes coming into the game. This is in the miscellaneous category, so it's just kind of all over the place. But for instance, you can now place deployables and door frames with doors much easier. Streamer mode updated to account for RF transmitter. Team UI and name tags will show Steam nicknames instead of Steam names. If you're friends with the person and you set a Steam nickname, you can now also hold the Alt look key while right clicking it or hover looting from a loot container to wear the clothing items immediately. Drones can be repaired in a repair bench and a bunch of other stuff. Go to rustified.com, scroll down under the Easter stuff, and you can read all about improvements and fixes. Also, there's some other stuff like an apply safe mode config convar. So if you screwed up your client config in a real big way, you can all one word apply safe mode config, and it'll overwrite your current player config with a known working version of the client config. Cool. And then also we've got Happus coming back on US and EU Zen Labs. This is the community-built Happus map. We've also made a bunch of changes to the maps across the board on Rustafied. They're now 4K instead of 4.25 or 4.5. And they're custom seeds. So instead of being procedurally generated on the fly each time. They're more of a custom map. It's still proc gen, but gives us a lot more control of where the monuments are, getting rid of some of those dumb bullshit like car spawns with nothing on them, and some of the like uh, swamps and stuff to really optimize for gameplay and performance. And also, Bandit and Outpost are now combined on all of our servers. We're going to have map voting back next week, and we'll have some options. If you don't like combined Bandit, we'll have some options on each server with not combined. But really, that was requested so much, and everyone seems, for the most part, to really love the combined Outpost and Bandit. So we're trying it out for the time being. And so far, these new maps seem to be running a lot better, and we're having more performance. There are still some crashes with the game. These are known issues with Unity. There's an AI and a PhysX crash that will have servers crash occasionally, and literally there's nothing we can do about it, and the devs can't even really fix it because it's on the back end uh, engine of the game, Unity, to fix, and they haven't fixed yet. But when that happens, the other good thing about these maps is the servers load up about twice as fast as well, because it's not generating the proc gen on the fly. It's just loading a saved custom map, so to speak. And so if we do have a crash, servers are back up in about 2 minutes instead of like 5 or 6. So that's awesome as well. But yeah, overall, really just trying to make a ton of improvements over here at Rustafied. We've made a bunch of improvements to our Discord. We've got a bunch of new team members on to help with moderation. So we're handling reports faster than ever before. Last month, we got 8,500 reports, and pretty much every single one of them got looked at within a matter of hours. And we only had like 50 or 60 in the whole month expire, and they expire after 6 hours. So we're really on point with handling reports and getting rid of hackers um, and improving performance. So that's what's going on over here. And that's the recap. Once again, if you're just tuning in, server update is live. And with 9 minutes to the turn of the hour, I do expect this client update to hit momentarily and the dev block to hit momentarily. And then we will say the update is live. And yeah, in the meantime, any other questions that we might have?
We have a few. A map map a map marker is saved after rejoining the server.
Oh, good question. Map markers should be saved after joining the server. In fact, based on my testing, they were saved when you rejoin the server.
Can the MLRS see markers?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
If the MLRS can see the markers.
I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't think so.
No.
Twitch drops.
No Twitch drops. No Twitch drops. It would be time to do Twitch drops, I thought, because but there, keep in mind, there's no set schedule for Twitch drops. The one thing the devs did say is they were going to probably do like a bi-monthly schedule, and it has been, 2 months. So it would make sense to have some Twitch drops go live, but no sign of Twitch drops going live. So maybe it's just going to be another month. But keep in mind, there's no set schedule for these things. It was just kind of a loose schedule. And yeah, doesn't look like Twitch drops this month, but maybe mid-month even. Who knows? They can launch it whenever.
Cobalt, can you show how to place two industrial crafters now on tier 2 and tier 3 workbench, one above and one in front?
I don't know if we have time to test that at the moment, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. That's kind of a... But yeah, the server update is live. Wait in any second for that client update to be live. Should be momentarily. And then we will say the update is live.
How long did the ping last?
10 seconds. The thing only lasts 10 seconds. So yeah. Oh, devlog is live. Look at this. Map markers, pings. Make your mark.
Will there be any update bringing fast learning on the tech tree?
I'm not aware of any plans for changes like that. Not to say they aren't planned, but once again, we're not developers of the game. We're just fans of the game like you who love reporting on development and running the best servers that we can. And I do want to take that opportunity to thank all of you for tuning in and for supporting us. To the people who just watch on Twitch, to people who give bits or subscribe, and also to our wonderful, beautiful, loyal VIP customers. Thank you all so much, because as an independent organization and we're not on the Face Punch payroll, the only way we can keep doing this is through the support of the community. And so, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for that support. Oh, boom. And with that, client update is live. So we got DevBlog live, client update is live. Let me tweet about it. Oh, nice. Thanks for testing that. Sorry, my bad on that. But yeah, map markers do show up on MLRS. And with that,
But
client update
isn't
is
there a
live.
difference between the ping and the marker?
Oh, were they asking? It doesn't matter. Client
Yeah.
update's live. Who gives a shit now? It's all live. Go update your stuff. Get in here. Get in before the queues come and all that stuff. And with that, we are going to go update our servers. We're already working on it, but I'm going to go make sure the systems team is doing good with getting those servers all up to date and online ASAP, so you guys can get in and have a wonderful wipe. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for the support, and thank you Cobalt for coming in a pinch here and hosting the stream today in lieu of Artemis. Thank you, Cobalt. And he can't talk to the rest of the people. He's muted, but we thank him. And also thank you, Miss D, as always, for being here. And look at that, I got your name right.
You're welcome, Bugs, as always.
And awesome. With that, we're going to wind the stream down, make sure every Rustafied server is coming up and running smoothly. A huge thank you once again. Much love to you all. I do wish you all a wonderful wipe and a wonderful week. And oh, I said it backwards this time. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful wipe. Yeah, there we go. That's my signature sign off phrase. And yeah, with that, this is Bugs signing off. Much love to you all. Catch you all later. Bye.